What if the accepted story about our final transition, the one we call death, is only part of the truth? Timeless wisdom traditions suggest that our understanding of what happens to consciousness after it leaves the body could be profoundly expanded. This insight, preserved across ages, shares a perspective that may change how we view the process of cremation entirely. Before we walk this path of inquiry together, I invite you to join this community on our shared journey of discovery. Your presence here is valued. Perhaps you have had your own moments of deep knowing, experiences that defied simple explanation. Feel welcome to share them. Today, we will explore 3 transformative insights about the journey of consciousness when the body is returned to the elements through fire. First, what does awareness truly perceive during this process of transformation? Second, why the timing of this sacred act holds a subtle but deep importance. And third, the beautiful connection between this choice and the soul's ongoing cycle of growth. Consider this perspective for a moment. Profound spiritual inquiry across countless generations tells us something fundamental. This wisdom doesn't come from a single voice, but flows like a great river through history, sourced from deep contemplative practice. These insights point to a universal library of consciousness, a field of connection where every life's journey is held. Through deep listening, it becomes possible to understand the nature of life, transition, and the continuation of spirit with humbling clarity. So, let's explore what truly happens. From a space of deep awareness, we understand that consciousness itself does not feel physical pain during this process, because it has already withdrawn from the physical vessel. But timeless wisdom offers a more nuanced view. It speaks of a transitional space, a quiet borderland where the spirit maintains a gentle connection to the form it once inhabited. During this period, which can last for a few days or sometimes longer, awareness is still orienting itself to a new way of being. Here is the profound insight. During this time, the soul can be aware of the events surrounding its physical form, but not through physical senses. It's more like a distant memory, a gentle echo of a dream being observed from afar. An ancient spiritual understanding tells us that the return to the elements through fire can actually assist consciousness in releasing its tether to the physical world, often more readily than a slow return to the earth. The flame serves as a powerful symbol, an energetic catalyst that helps the spirit in its passage to more subtle realms of existence. But here is an insight many do not consider. The rhythm of this process matters. When this transformation occurs very quickly after a life's sudden end, say within the first day or 3, awareness may experience a state of disorientation, not pain. This confusion can arise because the soul is still in the delicate process of fully separating its energy from the physical. Let me share a common human story that illustrates this principle. A loved one, feeling deep grief after a sudden loss, may sense a feeling of distress or confusion in their heart. Ancient wisdom suggests this intuition can be real. The soul may need more time to understand what has transpired and complete its departure from the earthly plane. And here is the truly transformative part. The love and peaceful thoughts sent by the grieving family act as a guiding light, helping that beloved consciousness to find its way. Over time, that inner sense of distress fades, replaced by a feeling of peace and serene connection. This leads us to an even more profound understanding about this choice and the great cycle of existence. For generations, wisdom traditions have taught that the way we honor the physical form after death can influence the soul's continuing journey. Not in a punitive way, but as a reflection of its own state of being. The choice of fire, when made with clear spiritual intention, helps the spirit to sever what ancient texts call earthly tethers. These are the emotional and mental attachments that can keep awareness focused on the material plane instead of journeying onward. Here is why this is important for your own spiritual path. While the method itself does not dictate your soul's future, your consciousness does. Souls that consciously choose this path as an expression of their beliefs often show a readiness to release the material world. This detachment allows them to move more freely in the space between lives. Let's go deeper into this journey. Contemplative traditions describe the soul's transition not as a single event, but as a flow through several states of being. There is the initial awakening, a moment of release when the spirit realizes it no longer depends on the physical form. Following this is a period of reflection. The soul quietly reviews the life just completed, not with judgment, but as a student gathering lessons for its growth. Then comes a period of orientation, a choice point. It is in this phase that the act of cremation becomes spiritually powerful. The fire can act as a symbolic gateway, helping the consciousness to navigate its passage onward with greater ease. But you may be surprised by what the ancient teachings say about our ability to connect with loved ones who have passed. It is commonly felt that physical burial keeps a loved one closer. Yet, a deeper wisdom offers another view. Cremation can actually purify the energetic connection, allowing for a clearer, more refined communication with the living. When a body returns to the earth slowly, a portion of the soul's energy can remain tied to that physical process. This can create a kind of spiritual static. With the rapid release of fire, the soul's energy is completely freed, allowing for clearer communication through dreams, moments of stillness, and other intuitive experiences. Think of it through this timeless example. A family choosing cremation for their child might be guided by the child's own spirit, which seeks to be free from earthly ties, so it can better watch over them from a place of light. In the following months, the family often reports feeling a vivid, peaceful presence, sensing their child is not only at peace, but actively surrounding them with love. Here is perhaps the most profound insight about cremation and consciousness. The process serves as a great spiritual purification. It helps the soul shed not just its physical connection, but also emotional and mental energies that no longer serve its highest evolution. Think of it this way. When you outgrow your old clothing, you release them. Cremation is like donating your physical form back to the universe, retaining only the wisdom and love that will nurture your future growth. This is why this path was often chosen for individuals who lived lives centered on spiritual awareness and service. It was understood that their souls were ready to release attachment and continue their journey without delay. But what of the apprehension many people feel about this path? This fear often arises from a deep misunderstanding of consciousness itself. We fear that the fire will somehow diminish the soul. Yet, wisdom reminds us that consciousness is entirely separate from the body. An ancient analogy explains this beautifully. The soul's relationship to the body is like your relationship to your home. When you move out of your home, you do not cease to exist, even if the house is later demolished. In the same way, when the soul departs the body, it continues its existence, regardless of what happens to the physical shell. This next insight will invite you to reflect on your own spiritual path. Timeless wisdom shows that individuals who cultivate spiritual practices in their lifetime, like meditation, compassion, and service, experience the transition of death very differently. For them, it is not a traumatic ending, but a joyful homecoming. For these souls, cremation can be a celebration, a final act of liberation from the physical world. And what is the best way to prepare for your own transition? The teachings say it is not to fixate on death, but to live every day with deep awareness and love for others. Souls that develop their inner gifts while on earth find the passage becomes much smoother, no matter the path of the body's return. The traditions also share a fascinating perspective on the timing of our departure. They teach that on a deeper level, our souls participate in choosing when and how we leave this life. This suggests that if you feel drawn to this path of fire, it may be your own inner wisdom guiding you toward what will best serve your transition and future growth. Now, here is how this all connects to your life in this very moment. Understanding death and what comes after is not simply about preparing for an ending. It is about understanding the true nature of who you are and using that knowledge to live a more peaceful and purposeful life today. Those who understand the temporary nature of physical form are more able to focus on cultivating their spiritual heart and serving others. They experience more joy because they are not held captive by the fear of loss. But this may be the most important insight of all. The choice between a return to earth or a return to fire is not as critical as the consciousness and love behind the choice. What truly matters is that the decision is made with wisdom, compassion, and respect for the soul's unending journey. When family members choose this path for a loved one with the intention of aiding their spiritual progress, their loving thoughts and prayers genuinely contribute to that beautiful unfolding. This brings us to a way you can apply this teaching today. Meditating on the nature of consciousness helps us develop what the ancients called spiritual sight, the ability to perceive the deeper dimensions of life while we are here. Simply spend a few quiet moments each day reflecting on the transient nature of the body and the eternal nature of awareness. This practice helps us live with greater presence and less fear. Here is something that can bring you peace right now. Embracing the reality of life's continuity and the soul's ongoing journey allows us to find greater purpose in our present circumstances. We begin to understand that every relationship and every challenge is a profound opportunity for spiritual growth. This wisdom helps us meet life's difficulties with more grace and compassion. Instead of being lost in temporary problems, we can see them as learning opportunities for our evolving spirit. So, how can you apply these insights to your life today? First, take time for silent reflection on consciousness itself and its relationship with your physical form. This practice fosters spiritual maturity and loosens the grip of materialism. Second, practice sending compassionate thoughts to those who have passed on. Regardless of their path of return, your love is a tangible energy that helps them on their journey and strengthens your eternal connection. Third, use this understanding to live more fully in the here and now. When we truly know that consciousness is eternal, we can focus on what is truly important, our inner growth, and how we care for others. Finally, reflect on how your own beliefs about this final transition are shaping your daily life. A fear of death often holds us back from embracing our full spiritual potential. The truth about this process, as shared by timeless wisdom, offers us a transformative gift, the understanding that death is not an end, but a gateway to a new beginning. This knowledge can free you from fear and empower you to live with greater purpose. As we conclude this reflection, I leave you with this final thought, echoed through the ages. The journey of the soul is eternal, and every experience, including this final transition, is a chance for evolution. Whether you choose a path of earth or fire, for yourself or for another, the most vital element is that the choice is made with love, understanding, and trust in the soul's magnificent, continuing journey. If these words have resonated within you, I invite you to continue on this path of discovery with us. Please share this video with others who may find strength and peace in these insights. Your sharing helps this wisdom flow to those who need it. Leave your thoughts below. How does this understanding sit within your heart? I cherish hearing about your own journey of awareness. Remember, you are a spiritual being having a human experience. Death is merely a doorway to the next chapter of your soul's unending story. Understanding this transforms not only how we view the end, but how we choose to live every precious day of this life.